The silent war on Sudan, a nation undone by design. Brothers and sisters, across Sudan, from Darfur to Khartoum, a nation is being dismantled by design. What we see is not simply a war, it is a deliberate destabilization, a plan written in the shadows and carried out with weapons, hunger, and fear. Since April 2023, Sudan has been torn apart by the clash between the Sudanese armed forces led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the rapid support forces led by Mohammed Hamdan Hemeti Dagalo. These two generals have reduced cities to rubble, ordered atrocities, and driven millions from their homes. But they do not act alone. Behind them stand powerful backers, foreign hands turning Sudan into their battleground. The United Arab Emirates is complicit because Sudan's gold mines are among the richest in Africa. The RSF has smuggled tons of gold through the UAE, enriching Emirati markets while funding its war machine. For the UAE, supporting Hemeti secures access to Sudan's natural resources and strengthens its grip on Red Sea trade routes. They supply weapons and mercenaries not out of compassion for Sudan, but to control its wealth. Russia, through the Wagner Group, has provided missiles and logistics. Why? Because Russia wants Sudan's gold to finance its wars elsewhere. Wagner has long been entrenched in Sudan's mining operations, smuggling gold back to Moscow to bypass sanctions. By arming the RSF, Russia ensures its financial lifeline continues to flow, even as Sudanese civilians pay the price in blood. Turkey is complicit through its defense industry. Turkish firm Baykar sold armed drones and missiles to the Sudanese armed forces despite embargoes. Why? Because Sudan offers lucrative arms contracts and a chance to project Turkish influence deep into Africa. For Ankara, Sudan is a market, a battlefield to showcase its weapons, and a strategic foothold by the Red Sea. Iran has stepped in with drones, weapons, and training for the Sudanese army. Why? Because controlling Sudan's skies means securing influence along the Red Sea corridor, a vital waterway for global trade and military power. By arming Burhan's forces, Iran expands its regional reach and counters the presence of rivals like Israel and the Gulf states. Sudan's chaos becomes Iran's opportunity to tighten its grip on this critical passage. China and Serbia are complicit because they see Sudan as a buyer for their weapons and as a resource-rich territory to exploit. China has invested in Sudanese oil and infrastructure, while Serbia profits from arms sales. Both prioritize profit and access over human lives, their weapons flowing into a conflict that destroys the very people they claim to develop. And while these foreign powers profit, Sudan's people starve. Entire villages in Darfur have been wiped off the map, hospitals shelled, women and children slaughtered on the roads. In El Fasher alone, hundreds of thousands are trapped under siege. Famine gripping the city as food and medicine are blocked. Across the country, 33 million people face hunger. Famine is not an accident, it is a weapon of war, wielded to break the will of a people. The crimes are unspeakable. Torture centers established in Khartoum, rape used systematically as a weapon, executions in displacement camps, looting of homes, burning of schools. These are not random acts of cruelty. They are strategies of control, designed to erase Sudan's future. And while this suffering unfolds, the so-called international community issues statements, holds summits, and drafts resolutions but does not stop the bloodshed. Global powers treat Sudan as a chessboard, while children starve and mothers bury their sons. Yet, Sudan refuses to die. Communities, though broken, rebuild. Neighbors share bread when none is left. Teachers teach under trees when schools are gone. Families cling to hope even when the world has turned its back. But hope alone will not save Sudan. The world must act. Those who armed and funded this war must be held accountable. The UAE for plundering gold and fueling militias, Russia for smuggling resources through blood, Turkey for arming generals to profit from war, Iran for turning Sudan into a pawn in its regional ambitions, China and Serbia for feeding weapons into a burning nation. These countries must be named for what they are, profiteers of Sudanese suffering. And so tonight, let us say it clearly. United Arab Emirates, you profit from Sudanese gold while its children starve. Russia, you steal Sudan's minerals to fund your own wars. Turkey, you sell drones to kill Sudanese civilians for profit and prestige. Iran, you use Sudan as a pawn to extend your empire. China and Serbia, you treat Sudan as nothing more than a weapons market. Your hands are stained with the blood of Sudan. This is not only Sudan's test, it is humanity's. If we accept that millions can be starved, displaced, and massacred for the games of the powerful, then no nation is safe. But if we rise, if we refuse to be silent, if we expose those responsible and demand justice, then Sudan's agony can yet become the seed of its rebirth. Sudan will not vanish. Its people will not be erased. Its children will not be forgotten. And those who orchestrated this suffering, the generals, the foreign sponsors, the profiteers, will face the judgment of history. For a nation may be shaken, but it cannot be destroyed when truth is spoken and when conscience refuses to bow. Sudan lives. And together, we must ensure it rises again.